Well, the harvest fields are white in the UK. Sadly, we live in a situation where the UK is Christian in cultural roots only, not in real faith-driven lives. And we as the church recognise that it's very much time to start again.
In the UK, there are so many things calling for people's attention. It's a somewhat peaceful coexisting of a ton of different religions. In a good way, people are polite about it. But there's so much information vying that people either just shy away totally or they just become disinterested because of like the hypocrisy of the church.
They're coming into an environment where many people don't know Jesus and many people don't attend church. And there is a huge challenge about what it means to share the gospel in word and in deed.
Young people are already in a frame of mind that's like very explorative, and so they don't have a good or bad representation of what church should look like or anything should look like.
The vast majority of people have a polite indifference towards the church, I would say. You know, they accept it and they tolerate it and they think it's good on the whole, but in terms of its personal impact on their lives, they're not particularly interested.
Just knowing that we're only here for a short amount of time, it allows me to be bolder. If I were somewhere for a longer period of time, I might be like, oh, I'll get to them later. Like, I'll worry about them later. But here it's like, I have 1 week left and I want to see this girl come to Jesus.
I've had more gospel conversations and hung out with more like non-believers than I've probably ever had in my life. And that's only made possible by God individually sending people for the short amount of times that they're able to and the seasons that they're in.
They have had some really wonderful and exciting opportunities to sow seeds like that. That because of the nature of them leaving soon, they won't get to see necessarily or get to reap any fruit from that. But I believe that it won't return void.
I want us to always be aware of how big and how close and intentional God is, and so he really wants to have these deep encounters, and I think sometimes we just need to understand that God's going to move on his own time. We just need to make space for that.
The promise to build a church that Jesus made to the apostles is something that he keeps and is still fulfilling today. And in the UK, we want to believe and want to work towards that promise, seeing the lost around us and knowing that the Holy Spirit is never limited in his power, and knowing yet that he uses us as his people, as ambassadors, and the church as the witness to reaching out to the lost around us.
People who are radical for Jesus, like they're living a life that is full of sacrificial love, and through that, my wish is that it will form more churches that will be able to spread across the whole UK.
I think my wish is just that more people had the opportunity to hear and see what a good church fellowship looks like, and ultimately what Jesus looks like.
My wish is that the people who do know Jesus are able to stand up for the faith and say, well, this isn't just some educational thing, or this isn't just my culture, this is my faith. Not just for the morals of Christianity, not just for the teachings of Christianity, but for the relationship with Jesus and for the saving grace that does have, the saving power that has, not just as a moral compass, but as a truly saving relationship.